My name is Rowana, if you're not familiar with my channel, and I am the designer for the Sojourner Traveler's notebooks, planners, and now rings and other leather goods. So basically I'm going to do a flip of this ring planner. And if you have not seen my last video from I think about a week ago, beginning of July, I had talked about Sam Plans sending me a ring planner that has a zipper around it. She gifted it to me. I didn't know you did ring planners. Yes, I do now. Well, I haven't started. I've been testing this. So anyway, so she gifted me with a ring planner, and see the video if you're interested. So what happened is I knew that I was going to need a bigger ring, most likely, because that had like a 19mm ring, and it quickly became small because I wanted to use it for basically everything except for my journaling. No, I'm not going away from bound books. Hobonichi being one of them has always been my favorite bound book. And so I'm going to keep that going because that will be my journaling. That's where it's going to be housed. Oh wait, you're going over to the ring side. Yeah, it's the dark side. This is what I used to call it. Having said that, I loved the one that Sam gave me, and I plan on keeping that, especially for my travels when I'm going outside of the state, outside of probably California, where my studio is. I probably won't be using that for it because it's a little small, and whenever I go to the studio in California, I'm there to work, and so I need the planner that will work for me with my work stuff. And so I just want to say that after trying it out for a couple of weeks, I have really seen a huge difference in how I put my information in my planner. As you might know, in June we did a one book June, and that kind of helped me also see how beneficial it is to have all my planning stuff in one place. But I've always had a problem with having it in a bound book. Not that it was a problem per se, but I felt like there were things I couldn't add to it because, you know, in a bound book there's a lot of things that you have to put in the back, like information and such, and then you have an index, and it just is there's a little more work trying to find what you're looking for. With the rings, you can actually put them in places that you have categories for. It's up to you on what you want to do. Mine, I have monthly, daily, diary that are by months, and information and papers, just general information. And so what I have found these couple of weeks is that using the ring planner, it has helped me really be more efficient and really jot more things down. Now, I've always been bad with trackers, but I have noticed that even the trackers, I am getting a little bit better at keeping track of. And let me tell you why. Because in the rings, you can, like I said, you can put them in different categories. And for me, I'm very simple. I want things simple. I don't like a lot of stuff on the page. And not that I don't like that. When I see that in other people's pages, I love it. However, for me, I'm very visual, that if I have too much stuff, so to speak, I feel like I'm not seeing what I need to see, because then my eye goes all over the place. When they are in categories, it's easier for me to flip at the end of the day, in the middle of the day, or what have you, and flip per category. And so in the tracking part of it, I can flip to the tracking, and if I have 5 different trackers, I could flip one at a time, and it just feels easier than in a bound book. I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but that's how I think of it anyway. It just has become, it kind of freed me up, to be honest, because if I didn't want to keep something in here, I could just take it right out. I don't have to worry about that I have to take it out of the bound book, I have to cut it with an X-Acto blade or what have you. Does that make sense? So it just makes it, it's very modular, is what I'm trying to say here. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I have come up with. I love the simplicity of the cord system, And I just feel like for me anyway, I'm used to the cord system and it's easier for me to just open it up like that. If you guys have followed me a while, I'm very much into simple, lightweight, and travel friendly. That's big for me, and that's because I travel a lot, and also, as I've mentioned in the past, when I have heavy like bags or whatever, it really puts a strain on my shoulders. That's where my stress goes. And so a lot of it is weight. So I like to go as light as possible. It has the cord, just like a traveler's notebook, and it will have rings like this that you can unscrew and change the rings whatever size you would like. So most likely, I feel like the 25 millimeter rings are the Goldilocks of the rings. And so that's what I'm going to most likely offer. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I just wanted to show you guys really a flip and just kind of show you what I have in here because I had mentioned it. I'm probably going to miss some stuff here, so please bear with me, but feel free to add to the comments and let me know 30 millimeters. Well, you can change it to 30 millimeters if you would like. I mean, as far as you can purchase a 30 millimeter ring and put it on there. So you think the 30 is the Goldilocks. Okay. I think it's really going to depend on how much people put in their notebooks, but I will think about that. I'll start taking a poll. Okay, so basically, again, it's going to be lightweight, travel friendly. It's going to keep the Sojourner brand. You know, I had other ideas, and when it came down to it, I mean, I had one with a different pocket configuration, and after I sewed it and everything, I was just like, I just can't do it. It's not on brand. So anyway, let me do a flip. So here, basically, I just have these sticky notes, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen these. I love this because it's to-do list, and here you can put a date. You could put that anywhere in your pages. Basically what I have there, and then I have some of these darts as markers. I don't generally carry cash, but I put a couple of dollars in here because I happen to have it. You can put dollars, you can put receipts, etc., etc. Let me see what I have in here. Oh, and again, if you saw my video, my YouTube video, I found this. Look at that, I haven't filled it out since. I haven't had time. I just got back from California, I think Tuesday or Wednesday. But anyway, I found this is a vintage accounting ledger. So I had put holes on it and had it here, but I don't know why I took it off recently. But anyway, one of the things that I learned from some of the videos I've been watching, and there's so many videos out there, you guys, of people with rings. It's wow. I was surprised how many videos there were. I guess I've been under a rock, but there's a lot of videos out there, and it's great. And so I've been gleaning a lot from them. But anyway, one of the things I learned from several people is they put slits in these holes. That way it's easier to take on and off. And they say that some people have said that it's also to kind of save the rings from getting gaps on them. For me, it's just really convenience. Then you don't have to keep opening and closing. And so anyway, so that's that here. Here I have some pictures. That's what I really love about this, is that you can put pictures in these, and usually in a bound book you would put it directly on the book, you know, and then that's it. Here you can take it in and out. You can change it as often as you want, you know, and you can always place it wherever you're going to see it all the time or what have you. And so I really like that about that. And then the first part is my monthly. That's always important. Ever since I was using planners, I've always had a 1 month on 2-page spread. And so that's what I have here. I delineate the days that I am out of my base, and my base right now is Arizona. Whenever I'm out of Arizona, I mark it with washi, and I kind of say what it is where I'm at, because I got to the point this past year that I just really felt like okay, I'm getting tired of being gone all the time, and I wanted to be realistic and know exactly how many days I'm gone. And it has turned out that since like December, January, I'm gone probably 24 to 29 days a month from base. And so this month or last month, I was gone 14. So there's improvement there. It's not in here because I took it out. Oh no, it is here, June. So I was away 14 days. And here in July, it's even less now. Look at that. It's going to be less. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to make a point of being at the base more because it gets tiring. So, okay, so there it is. And I don't put all of the months, and I only put maybe up to 3 months at a time. So I think this one I have until, oh, this one has up to November or December. Yeah, cool. Because I'm assuming that I'm gonna have to do some future planning. That's why I put those there. And then my next category are my daily schedule. And in here, I just tucked this in here. That's another thing that's kind of fun. You can stick things like this. Somebody left me a duck on my Jeep and had this on here. And I like the little card, so I just punched holes on it and put it in here. And that's the thing that I'm saying. It's kind of fun to just be able to take something that you want to remember or something that you like. You could just stick it in here, and then you can take it off and still have it for whatever you want to do with it, you know? And so it's just kind of fun. It's a little bit more modular than a bound book. Which monthly insert are you using? Oh, this one in particular is the one from Filofax. It's month on 2 pages. And I'll show you another style that I purchased, and I'll link all that below. But I really like it for certain reasons, and I'll show it to you in a minute. And then here I just have, this is an addition. I didn't have this last time in the video. This is 3 card slots, and I just put it in here because this is about the place where I might use these is around this area. And then these are just postcards that I put punched holes in. So then the next section is the daily schedule, like I said. Thanks, you're welcome, Chris. And basically what I do on here is I write down my appointments or specific appointments, and they're color coded. And red means I have an actual appointment, you know, that it's timed appointment. These that are in black are things that I would like to maybe do, go to, attend, but they're not set in stone. And sometimes I'll write them here. I haven't gotten a good system with this because I was using the weeks and I had a system with the weeks, but with this one I still haven't kind of figured it out. I would like to be able to put some stuff, you know, like what actually happened. That's exactly what I was planning on doing. Now that I think of it, I was going to have a page that tells you what things are on my list to do, and on here would be what I want to do that day or appointments, and then here would be a running list of what I actually did. So anyway, so that's what this is. Some things are covered, of course, because of information that are sensitive. They're not really sensitive. I just don't want to show it. Okay, so here we go. So on the weekends, it's very different. It doesn't have the dates on it. And again, this is a Filofax product. I like to kind of, like I said earlier, I'm very visual, and so the least amount that I have to look at, the better for me. And as it is, my schedule is so packed that it gets kind of messy some days. What I like about this is that it's all if it's all Filofax, then it all matches, and then it's not going to have different fonts as I go different things. Now, their Filofax is limited, just like any other insert makers, in what they have that might suit an individual. But in general, since I'm just starting with rings, I have found that they've been adequate. And so that's what I've kind of purchased, are the Filofax ones. There are insert makers, a plethora of insert makers, and they make a lot of different types and styles. And it's just easier for me to have one particular insert maker, because then things will match, hopefully. I don't know if you guys know this, but Just Scribbles, she is coming out not only with bound books, but also inserts for the ring planners. I know it's going to be a great product. So I am so excited for her and so happy for her. She's in the throes of trying to get everything done and ordered and designed and all of that. And so I'm super excited to get that. And I know I will be using some of her inserts for sure. Anyway, if you guys don't follow her now, her channel is Just Scribble. And yeah, so check her out. Again, I'm super excited. So see, some days I have a lot of things here. Oh, here's a good example. So this tells you kind of what I did that day. Woke up at 2:30. Oh, I was in a hotel. I usually stay with good friends of ours. They're like family to us. And I usually stay with them, but they were not in town this past week. So I ended up staying at a hotel for the couple of days I was in California. And this kind of quickly tells the story, because I knew I wouldn't have time to journal it fully. And so I kind of wanted to just write a little snippet here. But anyway, so I hope you guys have time for stories. What happened was at 2:30 a.m. Okay, so I'm very careful, especially when I'm in public, but also hotels. You know, you guys don't live under a rock. You know, there's all kinds of things that take place in these establishments. And so I am always prepared. I have next to my bed, which I was going to do a post on that, but next to my bed, I have a flashlight, pepper spray. I have these little things that make it's very shrill. It makes a lot of noise and stuff like that. And I lock the door. Not only that, but I have a system where I try to keep myself safe so no one can come in or anything like that. I don't live in fear, but I definitely am aware of what happens or what's been happening around us. And I am not going to take the chance, because it takes one time. And so I don't take chances. I try not to anyway. So I'm very careful. And anyway, so I lock everything up and all that. And I went to bed. Oh, I was by myself. My husband wasn't around because he was on a different trip. And so I'm sleeping, and it was about 2:30 in the morning. And I heard this, someone trying to open the door. I was so freaked out. And was so loud, and ended up, it sounded like going from one door to another. And it was just so loud. I was just like, oh my gosh, what the heck is going on? I got up super quick. Now, I don't react fast, but ever since I've been doing some training, I have thought about this, and I thought to myself, whenever a situation happens, I need to not sit and take a whole 5 seconds to assess things. I need to just get up and start moving and start doing something. And so I have had that in my mind, and that's something I'm trying to be more conscious of. And so I was really surprised. I got up pretty quick when it woke me up, and I wasn't even, I don't know if you guys have experienced earthquakes, but a lot of times when there's an earthquake, you sit there and you kind of just listen. Okay. Is this going to keep going, or is it going to stop? Coming from California, having lived in California for so many years, that's kind of what we did. We just kind of sit there and wait. Well, not anymore. And so I got up super quick, started looking to see what was going on, and I still keep hearing this person or persons, I don't know. And then finally, it stopped. And so I sat there for the longest time. And I was going to call downstairs, but one mistake I did not know where the phone was to call downstairs, which should have been the first thing that I did because they have cameras, they could look, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that was pretty freaky. And then I went the next day to the front desk, and I basically said, hey, did you guys have some kind of issue, or, you know, did you guys have anybody complain or call down here about, you know, what was going on? And he said, no, there wasn't anything. And then he says, it's probably someone drunk, as if to make that as an excuse that it's okay, it's just probably someone drunk. And then I was talking to somebody else, and that's the same thing that they told me. So what I've learned in being situationally aware and being, using your gut feeling, that a lot of times we try to excuse things. That can't be it. Okay, but what about the one time? And what does that mean? If someone's drunk, does that mean they're not trying to do harm? I mean, yeah, so don't excuse those kinds of things. I was a little bit offended when they just excused it like, oh, it's probably someone drunk. Just didn't know what they were doing. Well, up until someone does know what they're doing and they're really doing something sinister, and then you fall into that. So I have book recommendations if ever you guys want to read up on it and such. And another thing, a lot of people say, well, why do you look at those things and read those things all the time and blah, blah, blah? Because it can happen to anybody, you guys. You have to be prepared. And if you have not thought of these scenarios, I mean, I get this from my training. They tell us all the time, instructors say, you know, if you don't think of these possible scenarios ahead of time, you are, as it is, you're already going to probably, not react as quickly, or maybe, you know, you'll be in shock. And so as it is, it's going to be like that. So don't sit there and, you know, if you think of it ahead of time, at least you're that much ahead of the game, if that makes sense. So anyway, I have lots of books and audiobooks that I could recommend if anybody's ever interested in situational awareness and such. It's really important, especially in today's world, that you guys are really being careful, especially as women. So, all right, I better get going on this flip. This was supposed to be a flip. Okay, so also here, I put this marker here. I found this. This is old from another company. It was in another notebook, ring bound. Would like the book recommendation. Okay, Chris. Anybody else, if you want that, DM me. So I have this here, and this is old. I got it, like I said, I got it from Goodwill, from a ring planner that's not even brand. I don't see any brand on it at all. But then again, yesterday, if you guys saw my post, I couldn't see the expiration date on the tofu. And then people had to show me where it was. It was so funny. I couldn't find it because, yeah. So maybe this has a brand, the one that I got from Goodwill. I just can't see it. But anyway, okay. So I have this for that. And so when I know I'm trying to look at what's going on today, which I flip to this a lot, I could just go right there and flip. And then in between these, so these are 1 day. Yeah, it's a 1-page spread. In here, but what I do is I stick my running task list a lot of times in here. Again, see how easy that is. And so I could put this back in the front. On the weekend, I might put it back on the front, but here I kind of put it here in case I finish the stuff I needed to do today, that I can go here right away and you know, add to my schedule. And then here I write down the things I need to talk to Alyssa about in production. Yeah, so when I talk to her, I kind of have questions already, because I cannot depend on my memory. Not these days when there's so much going on in life, period, you know. And I'm sure you guys feel the same way. And so I have to write everything down. And so, yeah. So this, again, this is just in between. This is an Amazon little ticket when I dropped something off in Amazon. And I it has not been refunded. I haven't gotten a refund back, and so I kind of stick it in here so that I remember to do something about it. Instead of having to look for this, then I have it right here because I know I'm going to have to deal with it in a day or so. Here I just have ideas on Reels and YouTube stuff that I have written. I have that with my running task list because, again, those are tasks. So some of these I will take and do today. Probably none because I'm doing it now. But next week I'll look through here and kind of do that. So that's it. And then I, of course, future date, especially payroll, because I never want to miss payroll. And so I log that for future. Okay, and then the next side I put a diary, which basically is snippets of what happened that day. I generally write this in my A6. However, I'm finding that in my A6 I write a little bit more than just jotting down quickly what happened in the day. And so I write different things on these, is what I'm trying to say. So in the diary, again, this is a postcard. In the diary, this is the different one that has the 2-page monthly, just like the one that I showed you guys here. That is a Filofax product. This one here. This one, I'll flip to a different month. So you see the difference? These are small. And these ones here are bigger with lines. Okay, and I really like that. And then after this, there's a little part where you can write a snippet of what happened that day. Very convenient. So this is a good way if you really want just one book. You can have different inserts. You can change inserts every week if you wanted to, or monthly, or what have you. Whatever fits during that time. And so I think it's less boredom than having just one bound book for planning. Not everybody needs to be entertained and it's okay to be bored sometimes, but it's just, I love variety. And so that's kind of nice. And you know, week by week, things can change for you. Your plans, the season can change weekly for you, just depends. And so you could use different inserts on any given day, and it's kind of nice to be able to do that. And if you just want to change, you know, there's nothing wrong with making those changes. So then you're not bound to a bound book. See what I did there? So anyway, so you could write a little snippet in here, and so I like that. However, so let me just show you that real quick. So see, I have written on some and some I didn't. However, the one thing I don't like about this particular one is that it starts on a Sunday. And I like to keep my week during the week together, and I like to have my Saturday and Sunday together. That's why I'm kind of hesitant to use only this. And so what I thought I would do actually is maybe in my regular planning, like when something comes up, let's go back to July here. Sorry you guys if this is kind of long, but it is what it is. Okay, so let's say on the 20th, I find out that, you know, a friend of mine wants to go to dinner, so I write it on here, right? And then during the week, that week, I'm going to put it in the daily schedule. But here, I'm thinking I can use that for this, and then this for showing my travels. Oh, I know. I kind of thought maybe I didn't want to do that because I kind of like seeing everything in one place. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out on these weeklies, what to do with this. I mean, literally what you could do is track something on this page and still have both of these, right, separate. You can do that. So what, because I really love this, you know? And see, that's the thing. This starts on a Monday per page. And yet, during the month, it starts on a Sunday. So, anyway, so yeah. And then this actually is a marker that came with a gift that Sam gave me. and I just chose to put it in here because this is where my diary is. I figured that's the other place that I may want to flip to easily. So it'll be my daily schedule and in my diary. And in here, I saw a movie and I stuck it in here, not because I'm going to do this in the future necessarily, but I kind of wanted to see what it would be like to do memory keeping with the rings. I'm not sure that I will like that necessarily, and so I'm just kind of testing it to see. And so I put this in here, and then maybe I'll add some other things later on, but that's why I did this here, because then it, you know, as you're flipping through here, let's say you have receipts from being in New York, then you could put it on here, you could put it in a 3-ring and then do your journaling on another page, etc., etc. So that's kind of why I have this here. By the way, if you guys have seen A Quiet Place 1 and 2, they have the third one in the movie theaters. It's called A Quiet Place Day 1. Wow. It's really good. It's not just, there's a lot to it. It's not just about the aliens. I mean, that is a big part of it, but it's really good. I actually recommend it. Dare I say, it might even be the best one out of the 3. Yeah, interesting, huh? But if you guys have seen 1 and 2, and I suggest you watch 1 and 2 before you see this one, it's actually really good. I really enjoyed it. So that's at the movies. When was that? Just this past Wednesday. Oh, that was my day off. Then I took a day off. Okay, so anyway, so I have up until September. Again, I try to I try to be lightweight, and so I try not to put all the months in here because I will have this in my tote bag. And yeah. And then here is tracking. And again, there's a plethora of different insert makers out there and different types of tracking. And what I have chosen is to just use currently the one that is the horizontal for that's Filofax, again, because it matches everything else pretty much. And so it's a horizontal one, and then this is where I would track. That's what I'm using this for. So same premise, same thought, is that you could track something in the front of these months, calendars. So literally you can have different types of calendars, just like this, and you can track stuff. So that's why I chose this calendar here, which is a week on 1 page. Oh, and when I go to the category, let's say I'm going to go to the tracking category, I would just take this tab right here, and then I would just flip right to the week that I'm on. There's different things here in the trackers that I'm wanting to have in the future or track, and I started just making a list. So we'll see what happens as time goes on. But again, I'm really liking the system. And back here is just informational and pages, to do pages. And see, again, I have had this, I couldn't find a pad. It's here in my office somewhere. But I've had this pad of paper that's kind of cool. It's got lines here on the top, and down here it has graph. And I like that. And so I stuck it in here as informational again. And yeah, so you can just stick any kind of paper in these things. Kind of cool. That's about it. Oh, this is informational stuff. Again, it just makes it easy because I can go at the end of the day and just flip to the different categories. And with this category, there's so many things that informational stuff, I could just easily flip through each one of these. And I don't know, there's just something about being able to easily find stuff. It's easier to me, it seems, in the ring planner, because too, let's say this is information about work. Let's say that's what that is. I can always take that off and put it where it needs to be. Like if I need to have it on Friday so that when I talk to Alyssa in production, I can refer to it, then I could put it there and then put it back here. And so, I don't know, it just makes it really handy. Any of you guys here using rings right now? I'm just really finding it to really work out well for me when it comes to the planning. Again, I will keep my bound books because I like, those are, you know, the planner stuff, you can throw this stuff away if you wanted to later on. You don't necessarily have to keep them, but I suggest you keep them, and I'm going to do a video that I've been wanting to do about that. Maybe that's the next one I'll do, and I'll put it up on YouTube. But yeah, there's a reason why I personally don't want to throw away planners, but you can if you wanted to. But your thoughts in your journal in one bound book is a good thing, right? Because then you could keep that and everything is in that one place for that year, unless you keep switching journals. I've never tried rings. Well, Mary, you might want to try it. I am not sure I would like the rings. I bought Filofax at Home Goods, but it is not inspiring me. What's not inspiring you about it? There are different things that definitely are sometimes hard to use the rings, especially like when you're in the middle and the ring's in the way and it's hard to do this. So a lot of times you could just take it out. Some people cut the slits on all of whatever they put in here. I don't necessarily do that because I'm not going to be taking these out, you know, because it's during that day. I do that to everything else. So all of my, all of these that are back here, they're already cut into a slit. So I used Filofax years ago. I enjoyed the rings. Yeah, me too. Back then, there wasn't really a lot of choices. Lots of good reasons to try. Yes, definitely. Especially if you have a schedule that's, there's just a lot going on, you know. It's, for me, I know it's not for everybody, just like bound books are not for everybody. But there's just a lot to, you know, I mean, we're all into trying new things, right? Let's see. The cover is not leather and it has colored paper. It is too bulky for me to carry in my purse. Yes, it depends on the size. It would be bulky. And yes, this would be bulky for me because I only use a hip pack these days. For safety reasons, that's what I choose to use. And so this does not fit in there. But I have a tote bag that I put business stuff and all that. And if I have to, that is the first thing I will drop. Because like I said, I have a hip pack. That's what I wear these days. I think there's a place for rings. I'm trying personal and standard rings now. Oh, that's great to hear. I would love to converse with you about it and see what you like, don't like, and what you think as you've been trying it. So the ones that I'm gonna start with will be the personal size, and then after that is probably gonna be the A6 and possibly a passport wide size. But we'll see. Gonna start out with personal first. But yeah, so I get what you're saying. The one that you purchased from Home Goods, Sandra, is not leather. It's probably that plasticky one that everybody has purchased because it was really inexpensive there. It was a good buy. But you know, they make leather ones. Like this is leather. Of course, from my studio, but there have a plethora of other leather ones on the market. So, do you guys have any questions or anything? That's me, cheap. We all are. We try to be frugal and be good stewards. Well, most of us anyway. But yeah. Any questions, you guys? I thought it would be good to try that I could transition to leather. There you go. What size was it? Yours is beautiful. I would definitely purchase at some point. Oh, thank you. It's definitely different. You know, I tried a clasp, and I may do that in the future. However, like I said, this is just so easy and so lightweight. It just really fits my brand, you know? And I don't know, I just like it. It's got the kind of rugged look, and most makers have the big strap. They're really pretty, but that does add weight. And if you don't mind the weight, yeah, they're beautiful. There's a lot of makers out there. That is beautiful. And also, just so you know, this is made in the US. Okay? If that matters to you, I know for me, it matters for me. I try to buy what I can locally and also US made. And so if that matters to you, these are made in the US at this point. Oh yes, keep the string. That is beautiful. I like the classic closure. The elastic closure. Yeah. Oh, cool. Thank you. I'm glad. And it's definitely like someone wise said to me, you know, it's getting saturated, and it's true. The ones that I see kind of all look alike. This makes a little bit of a difference in that it's a cord, and again, it makes it light and travel friendly. Anyone else? Do you guys have any questions or anything? Comments? So again, this is a personal size. I like the personal size. I think it's just right. But definitely if you want to put it in a purse that's a little bit of a bigger purse, but don't want to carry this big thing, you know, they do make a lot of the pocket size, and I will be coming out with that, and the A6 also. Why fix it if it's not broke? Is this a Malden? No, this is a Sojourner. So it's actually Ember. So it'll have that Sojourner feel, you know? So yeah. All right, any other questions, you guys? Oh, sorry, I missed the beginning. No worries. This is a new product. I haven't even posted. I mean, this is the first time I've shown it really online. I mean, I've shown little things to a teaser type thing, but you know, this is a final product, final design. And again, if you didn't see the beginning, I this side here on the left, I put a pocket here, so you can put bills or receipts or what have you. This is a design that I've seen on other planners, and I liked it, and so basically I replicated it. The only difference is that I kept how our other sleeves are, which is very simple. It's just where you could slip it in here, your card or what have you. And the reason again for that is because that makes it lighter. The more you add to a notebook, you know, there's a lot of ones that open up right here and it's like a wallet. I mean, that's a beautiful design. I love it. But realistically, for someone like me, I don't need that part of it. And it's just going to be bulky, and I'd rather have less bulk. And my first design actually had a different pocket configuration. And as I sewed it and felt it, I was just like, okay, I just can't do it. Because it just wasn't my brand. It's not what I like. Well, that changes the game. Oh, I love that. Me either. I love it. Do you have an ETA? DM me. I have not started production on it, but definitely you can pre-order and we can make one up for you as soon as we can, and we can go from there. The pocket is so nice. It is nice. It comes in handy. So like when you have like a receipt, you could just stick it in here, you know, and then keep your most important card here in the front to be able to easily get it. And then here I kept the integrity of what we do on the Sojourners. And again, simple. You could still put stuff in there if you wanted to, you know, like cash or what have you, or stickers. Oh, one of the things I wanted to say about rings, whoops. Okay, why is that not, oh, okay, there we go. One of the things I wanted to say about rings, it's really sometimes you have to be careful with these, especially when it's super full, because this here, when you close it, you can be careful not to trap your finger in there, okay? That will not feel good. So you're going to DM me as, okay, great, thank you. And so one of the things I discovered is that if you open it up, say you open it like that, and instead of, especially when the rings are smaller, you do this, you can easily trap your finger in here or a piece of your finger skin. So what I've done, what I realized you could do is do that and then kind of fold it over like this and snap it. And it makes it much easier. I realized that on the one that that Sam gave me, that gifted me with, it's such a small ring that I was so afraid my fingers are going to get caught, and it has a couple of times, but very small part of it, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I can see someone really, you know, getting a good little bloody finger there. So I will okay. The pocket is so nice. Oh, I'm so glad that you like it. Thank you. All right. Well, if you guys don't have any other questions, I will go ahead and let you guys go. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to put this up on YouTube because I don't know. We'll see, because it's not really thorough. Well, I guess I could do it as an intro. Why not? Anyway, that's where the links will be, because it's kind of hard to link things on Instagram. It's not easy to, because you can't really copy and paste and such. So the links will be on the YouTube video. All right. Well, no other questions. I hope you guys have a great weekend. You guys, it's Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Make sure you don't work. And I'm going to take that as advice for myself. I'm doing training this week tomorrow, so I'm super excited about that. But yeah, other than that, I kind of have in the next couple of days free because my husband's not going to come back in until Sunday. And so, yeah, I think I'm definitely going to take a weekend off because I get tired, especially when I'm in the throes of designing stuff. And that was last weekend. You know, I got to California and I had 2 hours before I was meeting up with some friends. They invited me to dinner. And so I'm like, I gotta go. So I went. So I only worked maybe 3 hours. And it was Sunday when I came in. It takes me 5 hours, 5.5 hours to get to California from where I'm at. And so I did that. And then on Monday, I worked a full day and had meetings. And we're talking from like 6 to 8 in the evening. I finally just said, okay, enough's enough, I gotta stop. And then the next day I had a little bit of work before I left. And so everything has to be timed when you have to travel that far, because I don't want to be out in the dark. And then I have a lot of driving to do in the desert heat. I don't want to, you know, have issues in case something happens and something breaks down. And so you try to go in the cooler part of the day. And so I try to leave as early as I could, but you know, it's still hot. Anyway, probably too much information, but you guys have a great weekend. Thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate you guys always supporting Sojourner. We just love everybody. And yeah, so have a great weekend and we'll talk to you soon. And as usual, keep on documenting life as it happens and be blessed and pass it on. Bye-bye.